One of my favorite cruise lines, MSC Cruises, has come out today and announced they are going to require all passengers on board their ships to be fully vaccinated. We'll share all of the details with you coming up. Bourbon and whiskey drinkers, take note. I have a very special cruise coming up for you early next year that you're not going to want to miss. Plus, yesterday we brought you news for Australian cruise restarts, and there's even more now coming out of Princess Cruises. Carnival Mardi Gras is yet again home to another celebrity chef. We'll learn a little bit more about what Emeril Lagasse was doing on board. All this coming up on Midships. Hey, welcome to the Midships YouTube channel. I'm your Captain Corey, and thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. Well, I am up in sort of gloomy Columbus, Ohio. I'm up here to celebrate Thanksgiving with some friends and family, so I'm so looking forward to deep frying Tom the turkey tomorrow. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you don't miss a little behind the scenes peek at what goes on at Thanksgiving at Captain Corey's place. Now, being a holiday week, there's not a ton of cruise news coming out, but we definitely do have some stories to report on, and we're going to first begin with a little bit of food-related news coming out from Carnival Cruise Line. From cruiseradio.net, Chef Emeril Lagasse cuts ribbon on a brand new Carnival Cruise restaurant. Emeril Lagasse's new restaurant, the Emeril's Bistro 1396, aboard Carnival Mardi Gras, is officially open. The vessel debuted with the casual restaurant this past summer, but this week Chef Emeril Lagasse himself is on board to cut the ribbon and officially open the venue. Carnival Cruise Line posted the news in a tweet on Monday. And we have the tweet from Carnival, and it reads the following: Bam! We're so excited Chef Emeril has officially cut the ribbon at his beautiful new Bistro 1396 on board our ship today. Who's tried some of his delicious dishes already? And we have a photo from the ribbon cutting, and you can see Emeril cutting the red ribbon. Also, during this Thanksgiving cruise, Lagasse is a special guest at the morning show in the Grand Central Atrium on board, and he'll be a special guest chef for one of the chef's table experiences during the sailing. And he will also host a cooking class in the Carnival Kitchen cooking studio. In true Emeril fashion, Emeril's Bistro 1396 serves up some of the Creole cuisines that the chef is known for. Dishes on board include fried oysters, barbecue shrimp, duck and sausage gumbo, po' boys, muffaletta sandwiches, and more. Breakfast is also offered, including menu items like a breakfast po' boy, shrimp and grits, bananas Foster's crepes, and shrimp Creole omelets. Pricing is a la carte, and it begins at about $3 per item. And don't forget, Midships will be sailing aboard the Carnival Mardi Gras in just about 16 days from now on the December 11th itinerary. We're doing a Western Caribbean cruise, so if you're not familiar with that, we're going to be heading down to Mexico, the Cozumel, Costa Maya area. Now, yesterday we talked about some restart plans for Carnival Cruise Line in Australia, and one of their subsidiaries, Princess Cruise Lines, now has some restart plans of their own. Let's learn a little bit more about a recent announcement from cruiseindustrynews.com. Princess announces 2023 and 2024 sailings from Australia as well as New Zealand. Princess Cruises has announced their 23 and 24 cruise seasons from Australia and New Zealand, which includes the longest ever world cruise sailing from Australia. According to a press release, 4 Medallion-class ships, including the Majestic Princess, Royal Princess, Grand Princess, and Coral Princess, will sail to 117 destinations in 43 countries across Australia, New Zealand, the South Pacific, Southeast Asia, Europe, and South America. And don't forget, these sailings go on sale on December 1st at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Now, I know many of you love nothing more than a nice stiff drink to wrap up the day on your favorite cruise ship. Well, bourbon and whiskey lovers rejoice, because have I got something for you coming out of Celebrity Cruises. Let's learn a little bit more from thepointsguy.com by Gene Sloan. Bourbon and whiskey lovers, take note. There's now a cruise just for you. Fans of craft bourbon and whiskey now have a cruise to call their own. The first ever Craft Whiskey Expo at Sea, as it's being called, will take place next spring aboard Celebrity Cruises' 2,200 passenger Celebrity Millennium that sails from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The cruise will feature representatives from up to 20 whiskey brands on board. Brands will offer onboard tastings, and there will be seminars on all things whiskey. There will also be an optional onboard whiskey school for extra learning, a lunch with whiskey pairings, and open and closing night cocktail parties hosted by the brands on board. Scheduled to take place between March 31st and April 4th, the 4-night voyage is scheduled to call at Key West, Florida, where there's talk of a bar crawl that will also include a visit to a local distillery and optional visit to a cigar factory, capped off with a group tasting from the locally famous Kermit's Key Lime Pie on a Stick. A second stop in Nassau, Bahamas will offer those interested in a chance to visit a cigar shop and lounge. Organized by Whiskey Expo at Sea, the event is what's known as a partial charter of the ship. That is, the entire ship will not be turned over completely to Expo attendees. To take part in the whiskey-related activities, passengers must book the sailing through the online vacation center, an online travel seller, and ask specifically to be on the Whiskey Expo. And now, if you're interested in this type of cruise, this article, along with all the articles referenced in today's episode, will be linked in my description below this video. While you're down there at the very top of the description box, there are some Amazon affiliate links that will take you to some of the best cruise swag that I've ever been able to find, things that I use on every single cruise that I take, like the metal door hanger hooks. I don't know if you're aware, but almost all the walls and the doors in a cruise ship are metal, so you just boop, pop these hooks on them, hang your cruise lanyards, hang your face masks, your hats, what have you. Also, I really love my passport book with COVID card insert. I get so many compliments on it, and I've never had a problem losing any of the materials that I need for my cruise. It's super handy to have at embarkation, comes in like 7 colors, and just clicking on those links, even if you don't buy anything, it does give the channel just a little bit of a kickback. Thanks so much for considering purchasing. So the cost to participate in the Whiskey Expo on the cruise is $75 per participant on top of the cost of your cabin, plus extra charges for optional Expo events. Fares for balcony cabins start at $539 per person based on double occupancy, so you can expect to pay just a little bit over $1,080 for 2 people on board this cruise. So honestly, I don't know about you, but I love a good bourbon, sometimes on the rocks, sometimes neat, so I may actually have to look into this whiskey cruise myself, and especially aboard a celebrity cruise ship, you know it's going to be a top-notch experience. And now we're going to get into today's thumbnail story, and that is about MSC Cruises changing their vaccination policy for all their US-based cruises, and they're coming down with the full vaccine mandate. Let's learn a little bit more from cruiseindustrynews.com. MSC Cruises will require all guests to be fully vaccinated, and you can see a fabulous picture of Ocean Cay Marine Reserve, and that's probably the Meraviglia or the seashore here docked at the island. If you've never been to Ocean Cay Marine Reserve, that's MSC's private island in the Caribbean. I would highly recommend hopping on a cruise, if for no other reason than to get out and spend an evening on the beach at this island, chilling with a little bonfire, a drink in your hands, watching the Lighthouse Beach show. There's really nothing better. MSC Cruises today announced that all guests for its winter sailings fleet-wide must now be fully vaccinated against COVID-19, as well as take a COVID test and pass negative before their scheduled embarkation date. Gianni Onoranto, CEO of MSC Cruises, said, "Our health and safety protocol has led the way in the industry, not just because we were the first international cruise line to resume operations, but also because of its flexibility to adapt to the evolution of the pandemic ashore. This approach has reassured our guests and crew and the destinations we visit with our ships." If you made it this far into today's video, why haven't you subscribed to the channel? While you're down there, why don't you do us a huge favor and smash the thumbs up button if you absolutely love cruising. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel today, and until tomorrow, we'll see you on the Midships.
La 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 la